In the last 3 years, we have seen unprecedented changes in society. These changes challenge every major paradigm that has shaped our lives, nations, cultures, and communities. It is during times like these that we turn inward for truth. I too began to question the meaning of my existence and the meaning of success. Often, through these quiet, contemplative reflections, we come to find our purpose, our giftings, and even, as some would say, our calling in life. I choose to use my gifts in the service of goodness for the collective. After spending nearly 3 decades in the world of direct marketing, I have witnessed a broad spectrum of changes in our industry. Having built a global organization that generated billions of dollars in sales, I have learned invaluable lessons in business and in life. I have been called to start a project that honors 2 words: love and contribution. I am building a global community that is focused on the well-being of everyone around us, physically, financially, and spiritually. With that said, get ready, for you're about to be a part of something meaningful, fun, and genuinely profound. It is time to get excited and rise to the calling of something far greater than what has been. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Welcome to our Tuesday Empowerment Call. This is Kim Hui coming to you live from my home in Los Angeles. So I'm really excited to kind of do a little sharing with all of you on this call today here. Well, in LA, it's evening, so 5 o'clock here. And so I want to welcome you to our Tuesday talk. And today's beautiful, so I decided to come outside and just enjoy nature. And so today's topic is interesting because maybe it's the Monaco Grand Prix in this weekend or something, but as I reflect on my journey in my life, I think in a human lifetime, it's really rare to have the opportunity for a human being, I would say, to have the opportunity to build a billion-dollar brand, not a million, but a billion, a multi-billion-dollar brand. And I think even more rare than that is to have the opportunity to do it the second time around. So I know that some people have called this a billion-dollar project. Indeed, it's a multi-billion-dollar project. But more than that, more than the billions, I mean, sometimes in success, we're going to measure by numbers. But to me, more above and beyond the numbers, it is the lives that we're able to impact. It's truly about, in the times that we're living right now. As a matter of fact, when I was looking at the video, just before we all came onto the call, it just caused something out in me that it is time that we come together. And so this is about changing lives, about transformation, about taking a person from where we are to getting into a new world, if you would. And so I would say this, a lot of people ask me, Kim, how does it feel like to do it the second time around? And, I will share this with you all, that the second time around in building, we are now in the journey of building a multi-billion-dollar brand. And this second time around, it actually gives me a different look, a deeper dive into human psychology, into really how human beings respond and react to a situation. And so that's why I'm thinking like, okay, what should I call this topic here today? So today the topic is the drive and the driver, right? And so in anything, when we take a drive, there's kind of like 3 parts, right? One is the vehicle that we're driving, and 2 is the road, the drive, the landscape or the track that we're driving on. And the third part is very important, is the driver. So And if we were to take that perspective and put it in a business platform, and so what happened to be three, right? I mean, we all choose to do what we want to do in life, a vehicle that suits us. So three happens to be a vehicle that many of us chose to embark on. Okay. So with that said, I want to touch upon what it is that we do, and what does it take to build, forget about $1 billion business, what does it take for someone to manifest, or to turn what is it they want in life, and to wherever they are, to transform wherever they are to where they want to go in life. And it's interesting, as I embark on this, and we started about a year ago, this platform called Three. And it's very interesting for me to observe, because I would say right now, our organization consists of about maybe 80% of the people that are first time in this platform. And so allow me to share with you, this is my observation, like I shared with you a little bit earlier. This time around, it gives me a deeper look, a more in-depth look at human psychology. Why is it that some people achieve things in life and why some don't, especially in the times that we're living in right now? And so what came to mind is this thing called normalcy bias. I mean, you just have to look it up, what it means. Normalcy bias, a lot of times when things happen in our life, circumstances, societal, look at what happened the last couple of years. So when things happen to our life, human beings have a tendency to go back to what was normal, or we were hoping that someday, things will go back to normal. Somehow, somewhat, something will go back to normal. And perhaps all these years of the human conditioning, maybe our school, maybe our parents, maybe tradition, whatever that may be, they have conditioned us to always to go back to that normalcy. And so it does take a special breed of people who say, you know what, the normalcy, that traditional paradigm, whatever we were taught, that no longer serve us, that I need to look beyond traditional. And so this is what we're here to talk about here today, is to look beyond whatever we were taught in the past, because I've always said this, that Three is as much of a business platform as a platform of life. And so let's take a drive in this whole entrepreneurship. Okay, so as we begin this, Three is simply a vehicle. And so how do we go about as a driver? So Three is a vehicle. Then this track that we're on is called the track of life. Everybody are living in a different space, at different circumstances of your life. So now this track of life, and then we are on this vehicle called Three. And so what is going to help pivot all that is you, the driver. And so what are some of the key ingredients that one must need to really navigate, to go on this track, I don't know, to race? If you're a racer, like I was when I was younger, I love to get in a car, and I do drive stick shift, and I love a good race. And so, but coming back to this, the driver, what does the driver first have to have? The driver have to have clarity, a clarity of what you want to achieve in life. And I really want to help hone in this concept, if you would. And so I hope that you do have an open mind, open heart, okay, to take a look at this. So have clarity of what you want. And so oftentimes most people, when they begin to dream, some people will tie to their current circumstances, like, oh, this is a situation. So here's what I encourage you to do. Remove all of your current circumstances first for a second, okay? Tap into what is it that you want in life. Now, not everybody wants to have money, but you know what? Money and financial independence is one of the most basic human needs, okay? However, so let's come back to this. So let's take a look at this. What is that you want? Have clarity of what you want in life, because having that clarity, it's like a race car driver, like a driver. You need to have clarity of first the destination where you want to go, right? And then as you drive on the road, as you begin on your racetrack, okay, There are conditions, weather, wind, whatever that might be, that might get in your way. But at least when you know what you want, that will help guide and navigate you through this track of life. Okay. So having clarity is one thing. Now, a lot of people, and I know that many of us, when we were younger, we have, I remember when I was a little girl, I said, oh, wouldn't it be cool if I would become, when I first came to the United States 40 somewhat years ago, one of my dreams to work in, Wall Street, stock market. Now you couldn't even pay me to work there. But that was my dream. But sometimes as we embark in this course called life, things happen, or conditioning or training, situations happen that knock us out of our dream. And so here's what I want to suggest. So knowing what you want, the clarity of what you want, and and why is it that a lot of people at some point in their life, they have dreams, but why is it people that have dreams that don't achieve it? And I think this is the second part that most people don't teach. Schools never taught us this, okay? But now science, and there's a whole spiritual community that are talking about this. And there's really two brains in us. There's the brain, there's a huge brain in our hearts. And there's a brain here, right? So in order to manifest that dream of yours, what is it you want? And you know what? Sometimes dream does evolve, like my dream of in the stock market and to dream of now being an impact entrepreneur. Okay, so the key thing is the second thing. So first, clarity of what you want. Second thing is of what you want. You want to sing it to have a coherency from your heart and your brain. Because when your brain and your heart are coherent, are wanting that, sometimes your brain wanted that, your heart might not want that. Or sometimes your heart wanted that, your brain will go, no, I can't do it. Or, whatever that sabotaging thoughts due to conditioning, due to situational or circumstantial. So when you get beyond that you have your brain and your heart to be coherent of what you want. Once you have that coherency, then you're a better situation in navigating on this track called life. Okay. So now, and the other thing I want to talk about is that why is that, many of us, there is a reason why you got involved. And now, obviously, there are people that got involved because they absolutely love the product, or a friend of theirs kept talking about how great the product, and they just, got the product, and then they begin to try the product and they're getting results. But I could tell you this, in a timing that we're living in right now, humanity needs connection. We want hope. We want to provide hope for people. And so when you are in that situation of, okay, you saw something here that's different, but why is it that when we go out and share with other people, that other people might not see what you saw? And oftentimes, when you don't have the clarity, when you are not coherent of your brain and your heart, what happens? We got succumbed and we give up because we bought onto those who fall into normalcy bias. Because as you see something here, you saw at least a glimpse of hope, or maybe you saw something different. But as you're trying to articulate this to other people, most people will fall back on normalcy. They will think you're crazy, things somehow eventually go back to normal. And I want to see really evaluate where you are in life. It doesn't matter if you're a lawyer billing a couple of $100s an hour, you're an architect charging a couple of $100s an hour, or you are a professional charging at whatever hour, or you're running a business. I really want you to think about that. Is it whatever you're doing? I don't know, you spend 9-10 hours a day. Whatever you are doing, is it truly taking you to something that's fulfilling outside of money? Is it taking you where you want to go? Does it honor your purpose on earth? And so if it's not, and you found something that there's a resonance, that it resonates with you in this platform, and you try to share with other people, for most people, I would say 90% of people got stuck at a paradigm at a condition that confine them, that kind of disconnected from what the higher version of what they can be. I have met so many business people. They go, oh yeah, I want to be financially wealthy. Oh yeah, I want to create something. But when they talk to other people, when someone do not see what they saw, that their coherence is not in place, they're like, oh, this is too hard. Oh, I'm not cut out for this. Well, let me tell you this. Do you think I'm cut out for this? Nope. I mean, so cut out for what? Right? For this, cut out for this. What is this we're cut out for? So I guess the ultimate thing I want to share here today with all of you is this. It is time to rise up. It is time to truly go, you know what? I put aside anything and anything that you have embarked in your life, be it a job, a business. Look, we're not asking you to quit your job, okay? But just kind of evaluate your life. Where are you in life? I think that we're living in a time that humanity, we're shifting. Our consciousness is shifting. This is a business platform. Yes, absolutely. But doing on this path of doing this business is about transformation. Obviously, 3 is a vehicle. And so why are we doing these Monday calls and Tuesday calls? It's about that having that community that we collaborate and we support one another. For those who have had a little success in this space, we come here and share that experience. And perhaps because of that experience, the experience that we gain out of this thing called life, or in this platform, we're able to uplift one another. We're able to nourish one another. So coming back to business, okay, 3. So have clarity what you want and really work on your coherent. Your brain might want it, your heart gotta want it. And the third piece is action, okay? So when you wanted something so bad, like for me, 30 years ago when I embarked on this journey, it was about money in the beginning. I got laid off in the corporate world. And I told myself, you know what? I went to school, I got a degree, a college degree. I worked 10 years corporate America. I wasn't getting anywhere. And, so I said, and I got laid off. And I said, you know what? I refused to be laid off ever again. I refused for someone to say, Kim, you're fired. I refuse to work in that model. So I went on and embarked on this journey called entrepreneurship. And so in the beginning, do you think it was tough? Yes, it was tough. As I go and talk to other people, all of my college friends, people that went to UCLA with me, people that went to UC Irvine with me, they all laughed at me. But there's something that in between my heart and my brain and said, you know what? I'm put on this path. People might not see it. I still remember my mom, bless her. I mean, she's passed on now, but she's walked off. But you know what? On earth right now. But yeah, I'm telling you, my mom would say, Kim, you got to be practical. You got to get a good job. I said, Mom, thank you for bringing me to earth. But I have my path. I know what I want. I'm going to pursue a path. I don't want to live the path that my parents lived. I know there's a better way to life than that. And so I went on this journey. Was it tough? Yeah, it was tough. But you know what's amazing? It built me of who I am here today. It built character. One of my goals in the beginning was become a multi-millionaire. Well, forget about multi. The first goal was to be debt-free, right? And then to be financially free, and then to be a millionaire. And so once I get the money issue out of the way, I found even more meaning of having the opportunity to impact other people's lives. And so when you have that coherency between your heart and your brain, it is a dance. As we come back on this 3D world, so when you talk to some of the 3D friends at the moment, they will come back with a normal bias. It is okay. But sometimes when you are brave enough to continue that dance, you continue to dance with life. When you are brave enough to shake it and to dance it, you can't help but influence the people around you. And let's look at life. Things have changed so much. Forget about the last 10, 20 years. We are living in 21st century. Look at what took place the last 4 years. The divides, the disconnect. It is time. It is time to really rise above all of that. So let's talk about, because you know what? I really hope that you will get this one word. And that is, creation does not understand the word don't. Okay. So I want you to go and have that possibility of what is that you want and hold that space. You give yourself the permission to live your dream. I am truly blessed. When we first came to America, family of 6, we were living in a 1-bedroom apartment. My mom and dad had 4 girls. All 4 girls slept on the floor, on a blanket. I am blessed to have all this. Now, did it come easy? No. But what's remarkable beyond this journey of financial freedom is the life. First, transforming of what I thought was possible to live my potential. I haven't even lived my potential yet, but I'm on my way. We're all on our path. As long as we're still alive, we're still tapping into that deeper potential of what we become in life and who we are. Okay. So here's the thing. What do you do? Clarity, know what you want, okay? And hold tight on that. Work on your emotion. And because you're feeling your emotion, the emotion's a language to the unseen world. So that's a whole different topic. Now, coming back to here, okay? So how do we go about doing that when you're coherent in it? So let me kind of talk about the flow, the processes in which we make things happen, okay? So the flow is, first, you got to fill your pipeline, okay? Your pipeline is people that you want to talk to in the business, people who you want to build in the business. Now, a lot of times when people coming into this platform, they wanted to go, oh, I can, help this person, they want to go and share the product. Nothing wrong with that, okay? Product, the core foundation of this vehicle, okay? But here's the thing. You are an entrepreneur. You are a CEO of your company. What are you here to do? What am I? So if you're building a CEO of your company, you want to look for people that are CEO material. In the traditional business world, people, because of competition, a lot of times in most of the traditional business model, you don't want to, most people, I do, but most people don't want to find people that are better than them because of something called competition. They don't want to teach them everything they know, because that in the traditional business model, a lot of times they would take what they learn and compete with you. But here we have a completely different business model that when you empower other people, when you uplift other people, they will then help drive and thrive this entire platform, this entire movement. So I want you to think about this. The pipeline is this. You are the CEO of your company. What are we here to do? We are here to look for other CEOs. I am out there identifying other people who want the same thing and who are willing to do the same thing. Yes, temporarily is building a business, but ultimately it's about building a global community where we can inspire one another, where we can uplift one another. How do we change the world? We change ourselves first. So the pipeline is identify a list of people that you want, okay? So once you identify that list, this is the pipeline, okay? You identify that list. Then the next thing is you connect with them. And how do you go about connect? A lot of times go, oh my gosh, you got to do this thing called 3. Then people go, oh my goodness, you got brainwashed about 3. So it's not about 3. It's about you, who you are, your background, what you've been through in your life, and what it is that you saw in 3, in this vehicle. And so your job is to first connect, then you invite. What do you invite to? This AI is giving me a thumbs up. Okay. So what do you invite people to? You invite them to either a video, a link, a live opportunity showcase. So instead of you doing all the talk yourself, learn to leverage the tools. The tool, it could be, what is it to promote? Learn to invite them to an event. So I would say this, learn to invite them to an event. What's an event? An event is anything, any tools, any media, anything that promotes the business. right? And so, as you all know, we have our Global Monday Opportunity Showcase, and we have opportunity like this on Tuesday. Every Tuesday, we have different people coming in. It's called what we call Empowerment Tuesday, okay? And then on Wednesday, we have called Wellness Wednesday. We have healthcare professionals that talk about the product. And sometimes people will go with the angle of the wellness talk first and then the business side, whatever to suit your needs. But so your job is to invite people to an event. Not for you. We actually have people coming in, and right away they start like what we call verbal diarrhea. They start explaining everything about three. Oh my goodness. Da 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 da. No, 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 no. Connection. We're all humans. We don't like to be, at least me, I don't like to be sold to. So I don't like to be sold on, not sold to. So, you just connect with them, see what their needs are, then invite them to an event. Okay. So once you invite them to the event, then you want to follow up. Follow up is very important. There are some people that are looking at this, like we had a Super Saturday in Los Angeles. People came to events, they look at the overview, they love what they saw, and then they enrolled. Okay. So if they haven't enrolled, then after the Zoom call or after a local meeting, then you want to follow up, and then you enroll them in the business. And the next step is you want to get them trained. Okay. So we have different tools, maybe you're working with your sponsor, someone that brought you in the business, or your upline leaders. There are people, this is so unique about this business platform. And that is, most of the time, I want you to think about this. Let's just say if you live in a nice neighborhood or whatever neighborhood, doesn't matter. Let's just say that you ran into somebody who's really successful. Let's just say you ran into somebody that drive, I don't know, a Rolls Royce or whatever, right? Or Ferrari, right? So if you run into somebody that seemingly on the outside they're successful, and if you were to, let's just say, they knock on their door or knock on their windshield and says, "Excuse me, I see that you actually have some success in life. Would you share with me how you do that?" I can tell you most of people go, "Get away," or they call 911, right? But in this business platform, in this model, if you ask them how they become successful, they would take their time and say, "Let me share with you how we do it." Or they would say, "Let me send you some information, a video link, a media, something that will show them how this is done." I mean, isn't this empowering? Isn't this totally disrupt the traditional paradigm that we were taught? And so I hope that, this little talk lands in the right space. And ultimately, you got to do this. See, when you want to do something, you got to have persistence and consistency. Sometimes entrepreneurs, when they got in a business, in the beginning, they get so excited. They start talking to everybody, right? Then when they encounter a few objections or rejections, they stop. Don't you ever stop. You are not stopping not because of three. You are not stopping because you want to manifest. You want to manifest that dream. That is so clear, that clarity of what you want to achieve in life. We live in the times like this. And I happen to live in America, that, land of the free. And hopefully land of the brave. And bravery is about you giving yourself the opportunity to live the best version of yourself. That is bravery. Okay. And so we are here. Look what at this early stage, and let me share this with you. When I started building that previous company, we went from, and in another home of mine, in my kitchen, we started with a couple of people, 5 of us. We went and built $1 billion company in 6 years. We went from billion, 1.2, 1.4. And here's the thing, between 2009 and 2012, probably 3 years, I was at it nonstop. But by 2016, when we become $1 billion brand, it's when I was able to enjoy some of the fruits, not only financially, but witnessing the lives that we were able to touch and change. And so where are we here today at 3? This is the very beginning. This is our year 1. This company got launched, it was May of last year, right? So we will, this May 23rd, I don't know what day is today. Today is May 21st. Okay. In 2 days will be a 1 year after our official launch. Okay. So 1 year. Now we are in the trenches. I remember by 2016, 2017, people were like, "Where's Kim?" Look, there's an opportunity here to work with a group of us to build this billion-dollar company. And it does take a special breed. In life, there are many people, I want this, I want to be rich, I want this. Blah, blah, blah. When it comes to challenges, you know what? All their toughness, all their stuff faded away. So what we're here to do at this point, the next couple of years, the next 2-3 years, we are in the trenches identifying those people who truly, truly, truly want to spearhead this global movement of making a difference in people's lives. And so, and in closing, I want to share this with you. I was going to do this talk a couple of weeks ago, but you know, we all within us have that seed of greatness in us. And so I went out there and bought a seed. This little thingy right here, look at a seed, right? So this seed is a seed of a white oak tree. Now I want you to think about this. This little tiny seed, who would have thought that this has the potential to grow to be a giant white oak tree? If I were to slice this seed, if I were to cut and slice this seed, do you see a big white oak in there? But there's divinity in nature. There's divinity in this world. When this seed landed in the right place, well, not this glass jar, but when it landed in the good soil, when it got water, sunshine, air, when it's nurtured, it will blossom to a white oak tree. Same thing with you. What are you made of? I am of the belief we are all made with greatness. There's such a divinity in each and every single one of us. So I hope that you value that, you treasure that, because to make change, one must first be honest with ourselves of where you are, things that you are, things that you were taught, things that you have worked for, things that you have experienced. Is it servicing? Does it serve you? Is it taking you to where you want to go in life? If not, welcome. Welcome to 3. And be brave enough to learn. Be brave enough to grow. And be brave enough to work it. Work it, because you are not alone. You have a group of entrepreneurs around the world, currently in 15 countries and territories, that are on this global movement. And so consistency, how you make, so this is the internal, a lot of the internal work. And the outside work is to really build results. You got to be relentless. You got to be consistent. And, to really generate results. I mean, ask yourself, if you're in the business for a couple of months, ask yourself, what have you done? How many people have you talked to? How many showcases have you done? How many invites have you done? How many meetings have you showcased? How many coffee meetings have you done? So these are all the necessary steps to bring down that vision, that clarity of what you want, and bring it to reality. So I hope that the last 30 minutes has been has landed, the information has landed in the right spots in here and in here, and to generate that coherence of go out there and building your dream. So with that, I'm signing off from Los Angeles. I hope to see you soon. And we actually have a group of us. There's 140 people, entrepreneurs from, I think, 8 or 9 different countries that will be joining us on our, what we call our Asia expedition. We are actually open up our office in Indonesia, Jakarta, Indonesia. So we're actually taking a group of 140 entrepreneurs from all walks of life. They are going to go to Hong Kong, Malaysia, Indonesia, and Taiwan. So we're going to be sharing some of the tidbits that maybe are part of our tour, and also be sharing that schedule with you. So if you know of people on those places, by all means tap in, because we have a global community that support one another, that collaborate with one another. With that, thank you so very much. We'll see you until next time. Take care. Have a great week. Bye-bye.